Hello everyone, this is Victoria Stapleton, Director of School and Library Marketing at Little Brown Books for Young Readers, and I'm pleased to welcome you to a fresh episode of Book Chat with the Illustrator, where today we are featuring Sophie Blackall as our guest. Sophie Blackall is the creator of a number of picture books and the illustrator of the lovely Ivy and Bean series. Of course, closest of all to my heart is a charming tale of a wonderful Ursine character, Finding Winnie. Sophie's latest book is Hello, Lighthouse. It's a delightful, gorgeous, I'm a little obsessed with it book. Sophie, will you tell us a little bit about Hello, Lighthouse?
I would love to, Victoria. Hello, Lighthouse is the story of a lighthouse which stands steadfast on the highest rock of the tiny island at the edge of the world. It's the lighthouse that endures storms and wrecks and the ravages of time. It stands witness to passing ships and migrating whales and drifting icebergs. But within the lighthouse, inside its small round rooms, there's life and love and catastrophe and courage and labor and birth.
I noticed one of the themes of this book is circles. There's one particular spread where this really becomes the center of the book, and it is a spread that begins inside the lighthouse. The woman walks around and around the room. Could you tell us about this spread?
It is, as you said, pretty much the heart of the book, I think. This story of the lighthouse alternates between exterior and interior images. So on the outside we see the crashing waves and ice and stars, and those are full bleed spreads. But when we turn to the inside pages, the interior images are confined in circles, which increase in size as you go through the book. And by the time we reach the spread you're talking about, the heart of the book, as I said, the circle has increased to fill the page. I don't know if you know this, but many children were born in lighthouses, so in isolation out in the middle of the ocean, far from land or hospitals or doctors. And women managed mostly on their own because the light had to be attended every couple of hours and would not stop for the birth of a child. I've oddly always wanted to include a childbirth scene in a picture book. You don't see it very often, and yet it's such a profound part of life and of every child's life. Having said that, I knew that was going to be in the middle of this book, but I struggled terribly with how to resolve the composition of this picture, how to convey the dreamlike state that happens before a child enters the world. I knew I wanted to repeat the image of the woman as she walks paces through her labor, but I just couldn't figure out how to do it. Initially I had her revolving around a central column, and just everything was wrong about it. It looked just awful, and I was horribly frustrated. And then, as sometimes happens when you're making a picture, and I think I'm not alone in this, I was thinking about something else entirely, and the solution popped into my peripheral vision. And when that happens, you have to leave it shimmering there. You can't look directly at it. You have to kind of feign nonchalance. You have to, play it cool and wait until it solidifies and is there for real, and then you can turn and see it. And there it was. And this is not as earth-shattering for everybody else as it was for me, but having been so frustrated, having struggled for so long with it, I suddenly realized that I had to flip the woman. She was not revolving around a central pole. She was circling the room, and she was in fact becoming part of time. She was becoming the clock itself. And so as she walks around through her labor, she's ushering in a new generation. It's the circle of life. It's the inside and the outside. There's this sense that most people who have been through the experience of childbirth, nothing is ever the same again. Remember, you could be in the middle of the ocean. You could be anywhere. You lose any sense of where you are. So this child is born, and we turn the page, and then that, as you'll see, fills the entire spread. I had an interesting time writing this book with the characters being nameless and using possessive pronouns, and I have an aversion to the idea of someone's wife and the woman being someone's wife, as though that is her entire role. And so this spread was an opportunity to flip that, and we see in this spread her husband boils water and helps her breathe in and out, because at this point she is the one who is bringing the life into the world, and it is his job to assist her in that most important task. It's also he's kind of the dream father, I think.
It's a beautiful expression of rhythms of life that I don't know that we're necessarily connected to anymore.
In fact, time is changing. It's changing for the lighthouse and the way lighthouses are operated, and it's changing for the family whose life's work has been to run it. From the early 20s onwards, lighthouses began to become automated. So a Coast Guard arrives in this book bringing a lamp and a machine to run it, and the keeper's job is no more. And he and his family pack themselves up and leave in their little boat and say goodbye to the lighthouse that has been their home and the place where their child was born in this round room. And as time passes and the waves roll in and out and the tide recedes and the whales swim by and the icebergs drift and the moon comes in and out and the stars shine as they always have done, and the lighthouse beams from out to sea, and the family now on the shore look back at the lighthouse and at their life within it and at the beginnings of their family.